25 greatest Pokemon. Okay, Gen 1.
I like Charizard. Fucking Charizard! You like fucking Charizard! Why does everybody say shitting, wanking Charizard? Nintendo said, let's get a dragon and make it breathe fire! Really fucking original, but I like fire. Yeah, well...
Forget about it. I want to talk about Genwunners. When I meet new people, video games is always a topic that we will be talking about because, frankly, I don't really hang around people who aren't ridiculous nerds. Well, I mean, nerd or not really, you'll still, when you meet somebody new, you'll want to know about them. And a very, very common question is, hey, what do you like? What do you read? What do you watch? Are you one of those losers who thinks that Splatoon is a real competitive game? Do you butter both sides of your toast? Do you play sports? Are you a danger to children?
Nigga, sound bad.
Oh my god! And the list goes on. Now, if people are asking me this question, it might not be the first thing I say, but eventually I will say, Pokemon. I fucking love Pokemon. You're going to hear about how much I love Pokemon. But the problem is, this is how the conversation normally goes. Hey, what do you like? Oh, I like Pokemon. Oh, really? Then time stops. You can see every inch, every muscle in their face move as they contract their mouth to say the following words. They will say one of two things. They'll say, oh, I like Pokemon. Oh, but only the first 151. Or they'll say, oh, I like Pokemon. Only when I was 6! I know kids like Pokemon. I know. I fucking know. I know that in comparison to most human beings, I'm a degenerative slug creature who spends all my time in my room. I don't need to be reminded. Don't tell me it used to be cool. Don't tell me you liked it when you were a child. I'm not a child. Listen, yeah, the rest of the world started thinking about what they were going to do for further education or what career path they wanted to undertake while I was still playing Ratchet and Clank in my pajamas for the next 2 years. Don't try and thrust me into your world of bill paying and broken dreams. There is a new region with at least 100 more mons to catch, and if this shivering mass of misplaced nerdy energy doesn't do it, then who in the fucking universe will? So next time I tell you that I like Pokemon, don't remind me that too many misguided people think it's weird. Say something like, oh hey, that's cool, is what I'd like to say. But typically the conversation actually goes, oh hey, what do you like? Oh, I like Pokemon. Oh yeah, I liked Pokemon when I was younger. Oh, cool. Yeah. I've become so numb, I can feel you there. Right, all the triggered nerds aside, they are not the worst type of Genwunner, though. Those are just the people who graduated from Pokemon, who thought, okay, this was cool when I was younger, I'm now interested in something else. That's healthy, that's fine, I understand. The worst type of Genwunners are the ones who actually still engage with Pokemon, but still insist that Generation 1 is the best. See, when you believe in something as a group, you tend to have a main saying. Trump supporters say, let's make America great again. Hyper-radical feminists say, I'm triggered. Genwunners say, Game Freak are running out of ideas. The standard template of complaint is, this Pokemon looks stupid. They were better in yellow, blue, and red. Why does this evolve into this? This is so stupid, or uncreative, or could be way better. Red and blue are the best. Okay, let's invalidate some of that. Game Freak did a lot of silly things in Generation 1 that weren't really creative at all. Let's look at Magnemite. It's a pretty cool electric-type Pokemon. Oh, it's ready to evolve! Oh yeah, 3 Magnemite, that's great. Diglett, ready to evolve? 3 Diglets, fantastic. They have made noticeable improvements in the creativity department. Don't worry about what Gen 1 had to say. Why would they make a Pokemon that's just a bunch of keys? That's fucking stupid, right? This is a ball, and then when it evolves, it's an upside-down ball, oh my god! What the fuck are Mega Evolutions? There is no fucking Mega Evolutions when I played Pokemon! I didn't have to worry about training my EVs when I was playing Pokemon. Pokemon was simpler. I wish Pokemon was more simple. Just a quick thing in terms of gameplay mechanics, Pokemon was an imperfect RPG in the first generations. They had things like only one ghost line in the entire game. There was also only one dragon-type line in the game, and psychic Pokemon were overpowered. They had only one weakness, and most of the Pokemon in the psychic type were just really powerful in general anyway. In terms of things like Mega Evolutions and EVs and IVs, that's just their way of developing the metagame, so there's something further for us to enjoy after the main game is done. Changing up mechanics is helpful for keeping the competitive game alive. I mean, just a quick history lesson on how the mechanics have changed. Previously, in the Gen 1 games, the special stat was just one combined stat, meaning that things like Mewtwo were ridiculously overpowered, because it was one stat. Their special attack and special defense were equally sky high. So they had one Ghost line and one Dragon line. Frankly, you'd sort of like shit choices at that point. Adding on more Pokemon is inevitable and useful and helpful. Stop being a dick about it. Another thing is that critical hits were based on your speed stat in Generation 1, so certain Pokemon like Persian that had a really high speed stat and access to high crit ratio moves were overpowered as well. So to summarize, Generation 1 had some shit designs, some shit mechanics, and some shit choice with only one Ghost line and one Dragon line. There was room for improvement. You can't blindly idolize something that has such clear room for improvement, and that's fine. I can love and appreciate Pokemon while explaining that there are some things that were shit and needed changing. This is how I appreciate it. You can articulate what was good and what was bad and what was developed in its game design. I think this video was a bit more serious than I intended it to be. Basically, the point I'm trying to get at is anybody who is stuck in one way of viewing things is a little bit toxic. If you're too dogmatic in your views to understand what is logical and fair about somebody else's opinion, then you're not helping yourself and you're not helping anybody else. I appreciate Pokemon, and I hope that through understanding where it's come from, we can seek to make it better in the future. Don't be a Genwunner. Peace. Hello, pretty ladies. Just a very quick thing. Because me and the Aura Guardian, who I call Alex, both decided to work on a very similar topic to video, we actually helped each other out a bit with sort of scripting and ideas for the video. So check out his video over here. This is the Aura Guardian's version of the Genwunners video. I do hope you've enjoyed, and thank you for watching. I'm giving birth to mean!
Suck my wiggly dick!